And now, the general weather around Alaska.
All right, first graphic up this evening showing blizzard warning continues for the eastern Arctic coast tonight. Winds gusting 40 to 45 miles an hour out of the west, and snow and blowing snow creating visibilities less than a quarter mile at times there. Winter weather advisory for conditions that aren't so bad for the Prudhoe Bay area there. And then the rest of these shaded areas here, western Arctic coast there, and the Tuvik Pass into the northern Koyukuk Valley, Kotzebue Sound, Selawik Valley, Buckland, and narrow strip here along the Alaska Range. Those are all wind chill advisories for wind chills anywhere from 35 to 55 degrees below zero. Satellite imagery here showing low pressure spinning over the eastern Gulf of Alaska off the north coast of the Panhandle, and that bringing snow showers in over the area there, back in toward Yakutat, and a band of moisture here shifting westward with some light snow in it in the Copper River Basin along the North Gulf Coast there. Otherwise, very windy conditions here over south central Alaska area, especially east and south of the Alaska Range, including Kodiak Island, Prince William Sound today. Otherwise, dry and cold temperatures over the interior, especially over the north slope there, with winds anywhere from 25 to 45 miles an hour, including the north slope and the Arctic coast. Snow showers here over the eastern Bering Sea, clearing out as you head north towards St. Lawrence Island. Next system out to the west here, pushing wind, gale force winds and rain into the western Aleutians, spreading in toward Adak this afternoon. And on the chart, there's that warm front starting to spread some moisture in toward Adak with rain and gusty winds out toward Chimyanat too. Otherwise, a trough bringing some snow showers into the Alaska Peninsula with diminishing wind conditions there, and some areas of light snow here all along and north of the Alaska Range. Excuse me. And then another thing up there, keeping the wind and snow and blowing snow with a blizzard warning there for the eastern Arctic coast tonight. Otherwise, light winds, dry conditions, cold temperatures here over the western and northwest part of the state, and snow showers here over the southeast coast. Some areas seeing rain showers, but amounts not too heavy at all, and some of that moisture, kind of a band here, starting to work westward. For tonight, you can see some snow does pull westward here, bringing a chance of snow into Prince William Sound, all the way in toward Whittier, possibly getting into Portage, give or take there. But areas from there eastward here will see the best chance of snow, but that'll be bucking these strong northerly outflow winds coming out of the Copper River Delta and through the passes of the North Gulf Coast. Pretty windy for Copper River Basin, and tonight winds, which had gusted, or were currently gusting, to about 62 miles an hour at Palmer. Seward having gusts over 60 miles an hour. Akiak, one of the stronger winds there of 72 miles per hour, or I'm sorry, 61 miles an hour at Akiak, but Sitkinak Island, just to the south of Kodiak Island, had a peak wind gust of 72 miles an hour. And Seal Island in Prince William Sound had the strongest winds gusts today of 74 miles per hour. It's going to stay windy in all these areas tonight. As you can see, the gradient very tight there. The low actually pulling back to the west here as a high holds over the eastern Bering Sea and ridges on up into the western Arctic coast and Brooks Range. Otherwise, for tomorrow, that front pushes eastward, so snow and blowing snow develop over the Pribilof Islands. Rain and snow push into the eastern Aleutians with rain out toward Adak and Atka, but the winds not all that strong. Small craft advisories, maybe gusts, gale force gusts there with much lighter winds and showers behind it in the warmer air. And still a windy day, clear cold temperatures here over much of south of interior Alaska. Still looking at that trough, keeping snow along the Arctic coast there on the east side, but better conditions to the west. A few flurries possible. Shishmaref up to Cape Lisburne, Point Hope, but nothing significant there. Otherwise, another windy, cold day here for south central Alaska and the Copper River Basin into the North Gulf Coast. Drying with clearing skies and gusty north winds as colder air and drier conditions push into the northern Panhandle. There's still a chance of snow showers down to the south, with this new low developing and moving in toward the Queen Charlotte Islands. The old low now starting to drift a little to the south. And then for Friday, that whole mess now shifting off to the southeast, just a trough left back up here in the Gulf of Alaska. Still a few snow showers possible over the southeast interior, but high pressure dominating the remainder of interior Alaska from the Arctic coast all the way down to south central Alaska Kodiak Island with cold temperatures and a fair amount of clearing sunshine. Same thing for the southeast coast. Snow showers ended. Look for some widespread areas of clearing with some variable clouds elsewhere. This system brings rain and snow into the Pribilofs. Gale force winds there advance ahead of that front and trying to make a push here into the Alaska Peninsula with some snow. Rain and snow continues for the eastern Aleutians. And for lows tonight, anywhere from 35 to 45 degrees below zero over the interior. And south of the Alaska Range, due to more windy conditions and some clouds, staying above zero, even in the Copper River Basin here. And mid-teens for Kodiak Island, 5 to 10 below for Bristol Bay, and 15 to 20 below here over the western interior, all the way out to St. Lawrence Island. Lows 10 to 15 there, 16 for the Pribilofs, in the 30s for the Aleutians, and 10 to 15 for the northern Panhandle, 20s to near 30 elsewhere. And for the highs tomorrow, upper 20s for the northern southeast coast, closer to 40 down toward Ketchikan, Craig, Klawock, and Annette Island. Otherwise staying well below zero over the interior. Highs 15 to 20 south central Alaska, lower 20s Homer and Kodiak, and anywhere from 0 to 10 for Bristol Bay, and either side of zero here out along the west coast areas, and in 40s, mid 40s for Adak for the highs. Take 20 degrees off that for the Pribilofs. And then the lows, about the same as the high tomorrow, so not looking for much drop in the temperature. Actually, temperatures will be going up late Thursday night and into Friday, and still very cold here, anywhere from 35 to 50 below over the interior, and very cold temperatures up to the Arctic coast. And lows should fall below zero again over south central Alaska, especially the central and western Susitna Valley, Copper River Basin, 15 to 20 below for the lows, 10 to 15 below for Bristol Bay, and 10 to 15 for the northern Panhandle, and 20s down to the south. And then the highs rising up to near freezing for the Pribilof Islands, 40s for the Aleutians, and then teens are actually teens for the Alaska Peninsula, Bristol Bay anywhere from 0 to 10 for the highs, 15 to 20 in a lot of sunshine for south central Alaska. And even though there'll be a lot of clearing up here in the interior, highs will be remaining well below zero right up to the Arctic coast, mid-20s in the northern Panhandle, and again around 40 down to the south.